This is Family Time 194. We're talking about gratitude and gracious receiving. It's Thanksgiving week. It's a great time to practice some gratitude. Gratitude is something that needs to be practiced. But this also falls under our relationship skills, social emotional learning competency. It has to do with relationship building, expressing interest and appreciation for others, and communication. What I want you to do this week, pretty simple. I want you to think about some things for which you are grateful. That's a really important thing to practice. I think we need to actively practice gratitude. And there's a lot of research that shows if you're feeling grateful for something in a moment, you're not feeling other negative emotions. You're not feeling stressed or anxious or depressed in that moment, because if you're truly focusing on things for which you are grateful, it sort of washes out those other negative emotions. So it's really just good for our mental health. It's also really good for us to just keep perspective. It is so easy to focus on the negative things in our life, to focus on the things that we don't have, that we need to spend some time focusing on the things we do have. And that doesn't mean we have to be complacent and not have goals and things like that. It just means being aware of all of the wonderful things we do have in our lives, even when things get tough. And that's really the trick. So often we are grateful for things that we want, but we're not grateful for the unexpected things we didn't really want. And that seems kind of like, well, yeah, obviously. But it's sort of like saying, like, oh, I love surprises, but really only liking the surprises that wind up being exciting or something that's enjoyable for us. If a challenge comes along unexpectedly, that's still a surprise, but then it's like, well, I don't like that. The real trick is, I think, in life is if you can figure out how to be grateful for the things in your life that are challenging, for the things we didn't plan for. If you can do that, if you can say, hey, this thing was difficult, but it was also an opportunity. Even as they come to us, that this thing is an opportunity for me to learn something, for me to grow. And because of that, for that reason, I am grateful. That becomes very, very powerful if you can find a way to be grateful even under challenging circumstances. And the other thing that I put with gratitude is the idea of being a gracious receiver. And that's a term I took from Mr. Rogers. I'm a big fan of Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers. And he talked about being a gracious receiver. When someone maybe compliments us or says something kind to us, that receiving that graciously and not kind of downplaying it. And that's a really important thing when people do put themselves out there and maybe say something kind to us or do something kind for us, to receive that graciously. That's kind of the other half of gratitude, of like accepting that leap that they had to take to do that. But I also, for me, gracious receiving is about receiving everything that comes to us in life. The positive and the challenging things, receiving those graciously, being like, all right, okay, I've got this new test, I've got this new thing that I have to get through, and that's fine. That's part of the experience, and I can learn something from it and grow from it and things like that. And how we receive hardship really will define our lives. I know a lot of you have already experienced a lot of challenging things in your life, and you will continue to experience more and more challenging things. And it's okay to be upset about things. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry about things. But the more you can graciously receive those things, accept those things for what they are, the better you can manage them and the better you can find the bright spots in them. So what I want you to do this week, we're going to discuss a little bit, how you receive compliments and criticism, how you receive from people, coaching or advice, how do you accept that? That's part of gracious receiving as well. I want you to think of like a meaningful relationship you've had this year. We're going to write down kind of a list of things for which you are grateful. And I would like you to write a thank you note to someone. It's a really simple thing to do. We'll do it in class. You can do it very quickly, very easily, and just give that to somebody. That's, going out of your way a little bit, putting yourself out there a little bit to say, hey, thanks for this. It doesn't need to be anything big. In fact, thanking people sometimes for the little things are the best. Like, write a note to your mom or to your friend, something like that. How much time do we spend with our friends? Say like, hey man, thanks for doing this. I really appreciate you. That makes people feel good. It makes you feel good too. And it's a great week to do that as it's Thanksgiving. Think about all the things that we do have. I appreciate all of you. Very grateful for all of you every day. Until next time, much love.